would like for you to be with our children as they head back to school. Put your armor of protection around them and the teachers and the people working in the schools to protect them from this virus as it's entered the country. Pray for our national leaders also, Lord, our state leaders, and once again for our county leaders to, Lord, give them wisdom to make the correct decisions. And we pray all these things, dear Lord, in your precious name. Amen.
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 Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Brother James. Okay. Moving along to agenda item number 3, which is public comments. I know we have one. Do we have any other ones?
No, sir.
Okay, this is one that was called in.
Sorry if I turn the fan on or?
Go right ahead.
Oh, cool. I'll just turn this side on. You get too cold.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system 2103.
How many times? 3 times?
3 times.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message.
Is there a limit between the time
No.
between the calls?
No, just says we'll try to contact them 3 times.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system 21037384446 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Ms. Martin, this is Judge Jackson with Commissioner's Court calling for a public comment. Thank you. Okay, so, much for that. We're going right along, or that is all, right?
Yes, sir. That's all the ones that I received before the meeting.
To agenda item number 4, certificates of completion and awards. We have a Criminal Justice Information Services Security Awareness Training. This is to certify that Leighton Charles York has successfully completed the Level 4 Security Awareness Certification 7/28/2020. CJIS online approved. Thank you. Is that all we have on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we're going to agenda item 5, extension activity reports handouts.
And I handed those out there.
John. Give me a second. I should have done this while ago. And maybe you too, they can hold that stuff up, I'm gonna spin this around. Okay. Thank you. Anybody have any questions or comments on the activity reports? Then we're gonna move right along to agenda item number 6. Richard L. Jackson County Judge, Brenda Trevino, County Auditor. Oh, at 10 a.m. we will come back to this agenda item number 6. We have to wait a while. Okay, then we're moving to agenda item number 7, Richard L. Jackson County Judge, Marrero, Elections Administrator. 7A, approve the list of judges and poll workers for the November 3rd general election. And they are right here. Anybody, oh, you got them? Okay, good deal.
Good morning, Judge.
Okay.
Commissioners.
Well, I'll pick another one.
I would like to request the approval for the general election poll workers.
Okay, you've got a couple of places that's got blanks. Is that like on 312, 414?
Oh, yes, there are people there, she called us up on Friday afternoon with these leaders. So we do have clerks.
Okay. Have a good day, Richard. Thank you. I'm gonna stay. Motion to accept the poll workers.
Make a motion.
Motion Commissioner Gomez. I'll second. Second Commissioner Wiley, that we accept the list of poll workers for the November 3rd election. Is there any more comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Aye. Okay. And now, the list, okay, 7B, request and approve the resolution board and signature verification board for the November 3rd general election.
It's on the last page.
And it's the same board
With
for
the
both.
system. Right.
Aurelia Vela, Karen Weiss, Pat Bobach, Joanne Tiller, and Letitia Castro. We have a motion for this one. Motion by Commissioner File. Second by Commissioner Hyde. We accept this board, resolution board as signature verification board. Any more questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. So we've got that. And one thing I did say a while ago is Commissioner Hayek is teleconferencing.
And all the polling locations, we're still having problems
The what now?
with the polling locations.
Polling locations, I still need 2. I
Yeah.
still need your 101 and I need the 4.
If we can do that 101, we probably the only place we're gonna do it is there, right?
See, that's not a handicap compliance.
Not
And they're
any-
not gonna lend it to us either.
Good point.
We're really, we're really, have nowhere to go. I don't know. I thought about maybe the firework place, but I don't know who owns it, but then I don't know if we can go that far.
Fireworks, which one?
You know that fireworks stand, that's on 181?
The big one.
Because that would be your 103 box.
Right by you all.
Oh, by you want.
But I mean, I don't know, there's nothing out there.
The only place is if you combine it together.
You can't do that.
No, combine it over there with the 103? You can't?
I don't think you can.
You can't.
On a presidential.
Now, the only thing we could do is kind of like what we did, when we put Aurelia's in the 103 because it was in that precinct. We were able to do that because it was already approved through the DOJ. But we can't put two boxes together. Because I had asked that for 15 and 16, and they said we couldn't do that.
You can't do it.
And you can
The school is not gonna let it.
Did you call? Make an exception.
And I asked the school also, I did talk to the school, and they will let us there. And they're gonna have stricter restrictions as far as visitors and guests going in and out to the school, so we will be able to use that.
We're probably gonna have to rent a tent.
Can we do that?
As long as you provide them, the restroom and stuff.
We can rent tents and we can rent porta potties too. We might ought to start looking in that direction.
What would you put
Just
in?
need a place to put them.
We'll find a place, I mean,
You have to have electricity though, because remember, their equipment's going to have to be hooked up.
Can't use a generator.
It'd be noisy.
There's nobody there, right?
the matador.
Oh, I did see that building. I did need to ask that one. Was it
Next to the,
lodges or
Maverick.
something? I don't know what it housed
I don't know
before,
either.
so, but I did see that yesterday,
Right.
By Maverick,
By
that
Maverick.
Matador.
Oh,
right before that building
yeah,
out there.
the trailer that's there.
And I noticed they were cleaning the cots yesterday too. I don't know if there's something going in there or they're just cleaning it out. You know, the gas station that was there.
Yeah, they're cleaning that up.
They were doing that
I'll stop
yesterday.
by there and I'll check those two places.
Okay. So then that still uses our floors.
Okay. See, we did vote on that, didn't we?
no,
No.
just
No,
asked
we
you
did because I can't bring it to you until I have them on.
No, no, I'm talking about the other, we're talking about where we're
Yeah.
going. We need to go on, 'cause this.
I'll stop by this afternoon, try to
Okay,
see.
just let me know.
Okay, agenda item number 8, Wichita Jackson County Judge, discuss and take action on imposition of optional text dot fees for the year 2021. This should also say John Morant County Tax Collector. Because this is what, the optional fees that they collect out there for, in the tax office, to go to Road and Bridge and whatever, and it's gonna stay the same, no change for next year. So, but we do have to vote on leaving it the same.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Hyatt,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Wiley, that we leave the optional fees and the tax office the same. Is there any discussion, questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so that carries. Okay. Have to wait a while when it gets to the opening the bids. Okay, agenda item number 9, Richard O. Jackson County Judge, Jalen Rutherford, Human Resource General Specialist. Oh, Special General. Okay. Discuss and take action on leaving the dental care as MetLife with no rate increase for the new fiscal year.
So at the last Commissioners Court, I had come to you because MetLife had proposed a 17% increase on our dental. And you guys had voted to go ahead and change it over to Equitable. We have spoken with MetLife while we were going to terminate their policy. And we also have a MetLife policy that is prepaid legal. That prepaid legal policy piggybacks off of that dental policy. So if we cancel dental, we have to cancel prepaid legal. MetLife has agreed to leave our rates the same without any increase for this year, as long as we would keep both. So I would have to have y'all vote again to stay with MetLife. for this fiscal year. Next fiscal year, we can shop both if we need to, if the rate increase comes back. But for this year, they agreed not to go ahead with the rate increase.
I make a motion to stay with them.
Motion by Commissioner Gomez, second by Commissioner Fowle, that we stay with MetLife, or go back to MetLife, however you want to
Yes.
say it. And it'll be that, and then it'll also include the legal, the optional legal or whatever.
Yes.
Okay, we got a motion and a second, is there any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries, so, got that. Now we're going to agenda item number 10, Richfield Jackson County Judge, Michelle Motor, Grants Manager, 10A, update on TCEQ ACOG solid waste grant to expand Wilson County Citizens Collections Facility.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Just want to give y'all some good news. We did get notification last week that we were approved, TCEQ approved the project to expand the collection facility. We are waiting on the official letter. So that's another almost $57,000 to the county in grant to extend the collection facility.
So that's what we got, is 57,000.
56,915 is the actual. And that is a match grant, so it's a 50/50 cost share. So we will be providing $28,457.50 in cash through the purchase of materials, and then $28,457.50 in in-kind services such as the grant funded position and labor.
Will we need to, I guess this is a given, but we're gonna need to track our equipment that's involved in that and our employees. I would suggest that you come up with a format that you could give each of us so that we do it the same way. It'll make it easier for you whenever you're putting it. Maybe you've already thought about that, but whenever you're ready to turn it back in.
Well, part of this is waiting on the interlocal agreement between ACOG and I'll have to come back to Wilson County, you all to approve that interlocal agreement to further disperse the funds. It is a reimbursement grant, so we will incur the cost and then ask to request to be reimbursed. They usually, well, I won't say they, some funders do have forms that are, that they prefer their data and their information, so we'll see if they have something like that or not.
I would anticipate that to some degree that everybody would be involved in it. It sets in my precinct, but Commissioner File is the go-to guy over there, so I would think that we'd be taking the lead, but others might participate.
When will we get started, or can we get started?
That is my question.
As soon as we get the official letter and we approve the agreement, that's pretty much our notice to proceed.
It'll be next physical year?
I don't know. They're telling me that ACOG has already prepared the interlocal agreement, so as soon as they get the official letter from TCEQ, which hopefully is going to be this week, ACOG is going to send us the agreement. So I anticipate that we will have an agreement on the 24th, but we'll just see how TCEQ moves.
And we need to verify also, because at the time, this is almost a year-long project that we've been working on, because at the time of submission, if I remember correctly, Michelle, that work needed to be completed by like the end of October or something like that. And I don't know if, I'm sure that probably has changed, but that would.
October of this year?
Because we started, the bid process was October last year. It was submitted in December. So we're
Well, I
almost,
think there's two performance periods. I think one's coming up.
yeah, because it was a bind, yeah.
So it just depends on how that agreement is worded with ACOG and TCEQ, when they're going to give us the notice to proceed and whenever they will have to complete.
So I have a question in that materials are a given. So I mean, we know what we're going to pay for materials. I assume that we would be billing those to the general fund for reimbursement.
Well, once all of it is approved, there, I'll have an actual, a line item, yes, in the general fund that's specifically allocated for, this particular grant. I'm kind of waiting to see what they're gonna do in terms of the start date. Money has been budgeted in the new fiscal year for this project. I would suggest that we do it come October if there are not any deadlines that we have to meet through ACOG.
What about labor reimbursement, labor and equipment? Because obviously that in kind is going to be the use of motor graders.
Mhm.
That's all included.
That's included.
And so
Yeah.
will the precincts be reimbursed for the labor that we supply to do that? If we're gonna be reimbursed for it, I'm just trying to figure out if I'm gonna dedicate people there.
You will be reimbursed half of the cost of the expansion. The other half, which is the 2457 times 2, is something that we are going to provide. So,
But I think what you're asking by individual precincts, so if
Yes.
your employees work on it and Paul's employees work on it, are we going to allocate the different monies to the
Right.
reimbursement to the different precincts? I mean, if we want to get down that detailed, I
Well,
could.
the only reason I ask is the other tech stop grant that we got, we have to account for material
Mhm.
and we have to account for labor and equipment. And that labor and equipment is going to cover our in-kind for the most part for that grant.
Right, so.
But I was
we
just
may-
wondering if this was a different kind of grant, if we were going to, in other words, if Paul and I do all the work and we use all of our people, are we going to be reimbursed because it's a county?
Right, but that may just be our in-kind portion. We may use the other, the 26,000 in cash match, maybe all material and all, so it wouldn't affect the particular precinct
So,
anyway.
but I guess what he's more or less saying, for that equipment and man hours, would it come out of the general fund or out of our particular budget for those people to be working?
We're having to put that up, we're not getting anything for it. This is our match, we're not gonna get paid for our
Right,
match.
But I guess my question is that if, and I'm not saying other people won't participate, but if Paul and I provide all of the labor for something for a countywide issue, it seems to me that somehow we ought to get some reimbursement, either from the general fund or from the other precincts for our time putting together that thing. You know, labor and equipment still has a value.
Your fuel?
Fuel, yeah, the whole bit. I mean, we're
We're
laying out the funds.
so he's basically asking, of that 56,915 that we will get, where will it be allocated? General fund or back to their, if they're the ones providing the
Well,
service?
our inclined work.
Right.
It coming out of our precinct to pay those employees or get fuel,
Right.
would that come out of the general fund or out of the precinct itself?
But I guess we'd have to, you know, material's pretty simple, because when we have it delivered, if we have it delivered, then we can just have that billed to the county,
Right.
to whoever it is. If it ends up that we have to haul it, some
That
stuff.
can be, the hauling can be used for the in-kind contribution.
Yeah, well, I understand.
But if it gonna come out of the general fund or out of
Okay,
our precinct?
do
that's
y'all,
what he's
let
asking.
me ask y'all something. Do y'all want to all work on it, or do y'all two work on it and work out something between the other two commissioners to compensate y'all?
It's not following the compensation part, because if you're, and so, help me understand. So if your employees are working on this particular project, and I create a line item specific to this project, and their time gets allocated to this project, it doesn't come out of your budget anyway, so I'm not understanding why you would want.
That's what he's
reimbursement.
asking, so,
What's it come out of?
general fund.
Okay, so the general fund will be transferred over to his budget? Something out of the general fund?
No, no, it's just their time that
their salary, their labor would not be coded to
My budget.
his
come out of the
budget. It would be
general fund
coded to this line item for specific for this
How
project.
does that happen?
Because when payroll
I mean,
interest
I
is,
understand what the theory, but is there a way that we can just code it different and it comes out of the,
sure there is,
general
through
fund?
payroll.
budget. Do we have any fuel bill or equipment that's for that particular
okay,
project?
because that's gonna change your, salary budget
No.
on the, if it comes out of the general fund, it's not coming out of your fund, then that's gonna change. And you're gonna have money left over on that person, however many people work.
If they
You're gonna have
work
money left
80
over
hours
for
on
your
it, it
salary
would be
like
80
that
hours
year.
less in your salary than this particular, I mean, I
That makes
hadn't
more-
thought about it in that much detail because I didn't realize that y'all wanted it separated like
Well,
this, so I can.
it's all money, you know, the fact of the matter is that none of us have enough money to do everything we need to do for our precincts. I mean, we operate within that, and so when you start giving some of it away for the greater good, that's good, but it would be nice if it was shared in some form or fashion. You know, we could hire somebody to do it.
But the money that,
but
I
then-
guess because the money that the cash, the actual cash that we are receiving is not a reimbursement for the salaries. That is reimbursement for all of the materials that it's going to cost. So that wouldn't come out, so if we were to use your employees, what, I guess,
He wants compensation for his employees.
I know, but where
correct?
would that compensation come
Compensation
from?
for his equipment.
Yeah, I don't know how much time it's going to be.
I know, but I'm asking, where would that
But-
compensation come from, is what I'm asking.
He's wanted to.
Well, that was my question initially, is that possible? You know, the equipment, I don't see charging for the equipment. Fuel is an issue, and then if I have employees over there, they're not doing what they need to do for my precinct, nor Paul's. And maybe it's just
I mean, you're looking at probably at least 3 weeks of work,
I think so, 2 to 3.
at least.
Um,
And when it gets down to it, like you said, it may be better just to hire a contractor
But then we'd have to pay for the contract.
out of the general fund.
Out of the general fund. Well,
Well, that's what the application indicated, is that there would be a contractor to help, at least with the engineering.
okay,
But we can do it more cheaply than a contractor. Because a contractor, you got the equipment and everything else involved. I don't see, again, charging the county for the use of equipment, but it would be nice to get reimbursement for the out-of-pocket actual cost, which is fuel and labor.
And you're gonna have to have water, we're going to buy water somewhere.
okay, what did it say about contractors in the grant?
Well, we put that the contractor there would be a contract, we would hire a contractor, at least to conduct the engineering part of the project, which they have, they
Okay.
provided some of the site plans anyway, but it should be that, there is an engineering blessing, a certified engineer that blesses the overall project and how it is.
Yeah, but that's separate from what you're talking about. So he's talking about actually hands-on labor to do the project.
Right.
I think water would be
understand that.
material too. I mean, if you gotta buy water's material. It was just more a matter of
So what about just getting a contractor to do that? It doesn't say we can't use a contractor, does it?
Well, the way the application was written was that there would be partial contractor and partial county work.
the problem is that, or the situation is that I think we can do about as good a job as a contractor, maybe better, and it'd be a whole lot cheaper for the county. But it's just, the question again was fuel and labor. A contractor is gonna have fuel, labor, equipment, and a markup on it, because they have to make a profit of some
Okay,
sort.
here's a possible solution. Figure what it's gonna cost for your equipment and materials and whatever else, that come out of the, and any overtime. Because your employees are already budgeted.
Right.
So that's not gonna change anything there. If you get overtime, then that'll be something different. So, if, and we're figure out how much that will be and take it out of the general fund.
Well, we just have to track it like we do for the other. We have, for the Tech Stop project, they have codes for all of our equipment and a rate that we can charge for the equipment. And then we have in there what our loaded up employee costs are, not just what you get per hour, but loaded with health insurance and everything else. And so we've got those numbers.
Okay, those numbers are immaterial unless they work overtime. Okay, but whatever you have in equipment and fuel and materials and anything else, figure what that is, and let the general fund compensate your fund and your fund
I think that's
for
fair.
doing that.
I think that'd be fair, Commissioner Fox. And just.
Do we have an estimate of what material's gonna cost for this project?
We did back in December. I can tell you, well, in communication with Commissioner Weil, it indicated a couple months ago that there was another material that could be used that was cheaper than what was in the application. So it's just a matter of communicating. I don't have one right now. I don't have one off the top of my head right now, but
We're looking at one.
total project cost is $113,000. It's a change.
And that's gonna be, is that mainly gonna consist of, the heavy equipment putting down, the base pad, or I've never seen a plan for the project, so I don't know what it's gonna entail.
It's clearing, excavation, like I said, an engineer, a registered engineer needs to bless it as well. And then, yes, a 6-inch base pad.
To me, Commissioner, it's gonna be similar to building a road. We're gonna put down base material and work that into a very firm, for what, I'm not an engineer, we'll see what they require, but into a very firm base, and then probably top that with millings or something that is more substantial, so that if we have an event and it rains before the event, not everybody's walking in mud or
And
collegiate.
I think all of the specifications are already outlined in the,
Yeah, and there's also another entrance that will be created as well.
Yeah, so you
you
drive
guys
in one
just
way,
don't
not to
remember
go out
because
the
it's
other.
been a year ago. but
Yeah,
y'all
it's been a while.
You all received copies of the specs last December when we submitted it.
We're gonna tie into the existing.
Right, it's tying into the existing
Yes.
location.
It is tying into the existing facility. It's not going to create a separate facility.
The whole thing makes so much sense. The last one we had, we blocked it. They blocked, came in two ways, ended up blocking an intersection, almost a mile of vehicles up Highway 123. Here you've got a mile of a county road that's paved, and so they can come in, they can line up, go through, and then come out. I mean, it's gonna be so smooth compared to what we faced. It's not gonna be fun.
And it will enable for us at a future time to consider increased capacity or other types of disposal.
But we have that.
Keeping in mind though that any increase in activities or capacity, I will have to submit a request for a new registration or permit for that before anything can be done.
And once we get to the point of we getting the award letter and determination of when the start of the project will be, then we can come back with the plan of how the allocation is going to be, and without seeing the numbers now, we can't give you that answer, but we will.
Right, without seeing the agreement.
Yeah.
And the final thing to add, which we talked about before, aside from how efficient this thing could work, then all of these people who come out will then know where the collection facility is. Because a lot of them will come and they'll say, do you have some place where we can take stuff other than this? And so it makes so much sense. There'll be a point where the majority of the citizens of Wilson County will understand that that is out there and what the costs are.
Just wanted to.
If all four precincts sent over some equipment and folks, would that, do you think that would cut the construction time down?
I think that's a possibility, Commissioner. And I was just, yeah, I think it probably would. We could figure out what we needed and how many pieces of equipment, and then we could just, all get together and discuss how we're gonna do it.
And if we did that, we wouldn't have to worry about taking any money out of the general fund. Everybody would be contributing so much.
Yep.
Okay,
Because we don't have enough equipment, to spread the base, we have enough water trucks and rollers, you combine all of them, we could probably knock that out pretty quick.
Yeah. The key would be getting water trucks from everyone, because water's gonna be a big issue,
Right.
for a project like that. Sounds good.
okay. So that was just an update. I'm glad it was. Okay, now we're going to 10B, discuss and take action to approve the submission and resolution of support for the grant administered by the Guadalupe Valley Electric Co-op, GDEC, to light up the county project during holiday season.
Well, bad news on this one. We would be eligible to apply for this grant, but the grant was already applied for by Wilson County last year through the library for some other things. So in the grant policy states that if an organization has been awarded the grant, then they have to wait 3 years before they can apply again. So we are eligible to do this kind of project through this funder. We just have to wait till
How much did the library get last year?
5,000. So I would actually be asking for the full 20,000. I have gone out through a marketing firm to understand the costs associated with lighting up the courthouse as well as the other county buildings, including the courthouse annex, the jail, the EMA office, and the show barn, the front facade of the show barn, as well as the trees that are in front of those buildings. So I'm waiting to see what those costs are going to be, just to know.
Okay.
And see how we can do.
So, there's no action to be taken
Correct.
on this one.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, moving right along, big one turn. Agenda item number 11, Leanne Hosick, EMC, 11A, utility permit, 11A1, permit number 614, Southern Spring Water Supply Corporation, Precinct 4, Morning Glory Lane, and 11A2, permit number 615, Southern Spring Water Supply Corporation, Precinct 4, Morning Glory Lane, review and approve.
The commissioner has reviewed them.
Yes. And I make a motion.
A motion for both A1 and A2?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Wiley, second by Commissioner Hayek, that we accept this. Is there any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Yes. What? No, it's not. Okay, now we're going to 11B, non-standard flats variances. 11B1, FM 775, 6290, precinct 3, Blackburn, discuss and take action.
Was that approved by the,
Yes, it came before the committee last week, and the Blackburns own 10.02 acres off of 775, and they're wanting to sell 2 acres out of that.
okay, I'll make a motion, we approve it.
Motion by Commissioner Hayek. I'll second by Commissioner Wiley. We approve. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. 11B2, County Road 307, 966, Precinct 4, Sackett. Discuss and take action.
Okay, on this one, the Sackett's own 25 acres off of 307. And they are selling on the back part of their property 20.04 acres to an adjoining landowner. The tract that they're selling will not have road frontage. This was given a favorable recommendation by the committee, contingent upon if it were subsequently sold by the adjoining landowner, he would have to include road frontage.
Which one of these landowners is mine?
Frazier.
All right. This one, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Repeating that, and so, yeah.
But obviously Frazier has.
Yes, he's got road frontage. He owns property all the way.
He owns-
to
he owns-
And.
306 and 307.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Wiley, second by Commissioner File, that we approve this. All in favor, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, this motion carries. Okay, now we're going to 11B3, Fleetwood Lane, 344, Precinct 4, FNS Custom Homes, LLC, discuss and take action.
This has become a trend in Wood Valley as of late.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. and Miss Ruiz own a lot in Wood Valley off of Fleetwood Lane. It's a 3.1 acre lot, and they want to split it in half and sell. They've already got the water meters for the lots, they've met all the other requirements, and this one was also given a favorable recommendation.
It's an undeveloped lot.
Yeah, there's no structures, anything on it at all.
And I make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Wiley,
I'll second it.
second by Commissioner Hayek. I don't know.
Go ahead.
Okay, is there any more discussion on this? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so we've got that. Okay, now we're going to 11B4, FM 2579, 3384, Precinct 1, Smith, discuss and take action.
Okay, and this individual owns 55.38 acres off 2579, and he's wanting to survey out and convey 3.88 acres to a couple that's been residing in the house on the property and taking care of the property for them. It's already got all the utilities there.
Okay, how come you've got, is this?
That's just a house of fence.
That's just, yeah, where you had a fence line.
Oh, okay, so that's just a fence line, okay.
Yeah. But all requirements have been met, and it was given a favorable recommendation by the committee.
Okay, Precinct 1, South Church, Albert.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Gomez,
Second.
second by Commissioner Fowle. Accept this. Is there any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. 11B5, Morning Glory, 1219, Precinct 4, Holly. Discuss and take action.
Okay, and this is another lot in Wood Valley, off Morning Glory Lane. And, they own, it's a 2.33 acre lot. one will be about 1.165 acres. They've met all the requirements and was given a favorable recommendation by the committee.
And I make a motion, we do.
Motion by Commissioner Wiley,
Second.
second by Commissioner Hyatt. Well, comments, okay. Well, I heard Commissioner Hyatt, so we want a second by Commissioner Hyatt. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Okay, moving right along to 11C, subdivision Chisholm Trail. 11C1, discuss and take action on acceptance and dedication and conveyance of roads.
Okay, the roads have been, construction has been completed, inspection was completed, and all
Where's Chisholm
requirements
Trail?
have been met. It's,
Over off the Shenandoah subdivision.
Okay.
and so we are at the point of accepting the roads.
That would be yours, I guess, then, Commissioner Hyatt.
Yes, sir, and I make a motion, we'll go ahead and accept it.
I'll second it.
Motion by Commissioner Hyatt, second by Commissioner Wiley, we accept the dedication and conveyance of roads. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, this one carries. Okay, now we're going to 11D, 2020 County Road Inventory and Road Condition Report Review and Approve. Has everybody reviewed their own?
Yes, sir.
These gonna be the originals? Well, so we could, what kind of maintenance? Wow, you must be up. You're not asking for yours. Say what?
He was looking at the total cost of the service.
Yours is about more the cheapest.
What can I say? Four sides of town.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially that legacy subdivision.
And he can rub.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, is this done as one report or is it done as four different reports?
You can do this one,
Okay.
as one agenda item. Each one has their own report.
Well, yeah, I'll pay off the later today to sign all these documents.
Sounds good.
Has everybody reviewed theirs?
getting all that rain.
They ain't got no oil, they got water.
We got water.
Sometimes water's better than oil.
Yeah.
If you got enough oil, you can buy oil.
Can I get a motion to approve this?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Wiley, seconded by Commissioner Powell to approve the road inventory and road condition reports. Is
Thought I printed those up.
there any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. So I guess I can sign these and each one of the commissioners. There. Okay, now, the road mileage, does this have to go still before the grand jury?
Grand jury, yes, will be in September.
Okay,
Yes, so we go before then in September.
okay. Let's move right along here to agenda item number 12. Richdale Jackson County Judge, John P. Holcomb, IT Director. Request to use JP Technology Fund to purchase a desktop computer and software for JP1 Johnny D. Real and a tablet computer and software for JP3 Connie Terry.
I'd like to buy a laptop computer for Judge Terry at JP3 and a desktop computer for Judge Villarreal, JP1. Estimate the cost of the computer and software for JP1 to be about $2,248, and I estimate the computer for JP3, the laptop computer, to be about $2,348.
And there's enough money in the technology fund, their technology fund to do it?
Yes, I believe so. The JP Tech Fund, last time I checked, there was like, I think $16,000 in there.
Okay.
We used some of it though. We probably used about 4,000 of it to buy the computers for JP2 and JP4 recently.
So we got to play catch up, we got to keep up with the Joneses.
Yes, sir.
Okay, question, did they approve it? Because I know they're supposed to go they're before each other and
Yeah.
approve their expenditures.
Did who approve it?
The JP, so the
The
four
JPs
JPs
have to-
have to be in agreement to use that fund.
Last I checked, so they were in agreement with the JP2 and JP4, but I'm not sure about JP1 and 3. So I need to go ask all 4 JP3s then?
And I need to verify how much is in that fund, because I haven't.
Okay,
So all 4 of the, or at least a majority of them have to approve of the 4 JPs?
and that was done back years ago. The JPs got together and voted that before we spend money out of the technology fund, before we take it to the commissioner's courts, that's good movement, that the JPs will all agree. I'm sure they will, but
Okay. Do we,
are they in a bind to get these now? Do they need them?
well, Judge Rutland's computer runs Windows 7, and
this is-
both of them are running Windows 7. They're kind of outdated.
Okay, this is just Judge Villarreal and Judge Terry.
I'm sorry,
We've already-
Judge Terry and Judge Villarreal are both outdated.
Okay,
Can we just approve it pending verification of JP Tech funds and approval of the other two JP, so there's not a delay?
well, we can go ahead and approve it, and if they don't agree,
Right.
pay for it out of something else in their budget.
Approve it contingent upon approval
Yes.
from the four
We can
judges.
do that. Okay,
I'll make a motion.
motion by Commissioner Hyde, second by Commissioner Fowle, that we allow them to purchase the desktop and the tablet and the software
And if there's money available.
out of the
from-
JP Technology Fund. Okay. Got a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Okay, let's wait 2 minutes and we'll open bids. So I'm gonna go ahead and read it. Going back to agenda item number 6, Michelle Jackson County Judge, Bennett Reno County Auditor, 10 a.m. Open bids. I'm gonna call it all. 6A, material hauling, material plus hauling, 6B, fuel, 6C, towing, and 6D, lawn maintenance service. Okay, let's wait 1 minute, a minute and a half. Uh,
Judge, when you started, can I have a motion from the floor that you open your bid?
Okay,
We're ready.
1 minute. 1 minute.
And I'll stand here so Commissioner Hyatt can hear me on the phone. Can you hear me okay, Commissioner?
Yes, ma'am. I'll drop by your office later to sign whatever I need to sign.
Okay.
Anyway, what do we do with this? There's no place to sign. I was looking at that this morning when I printed it out. T-minus 15 seconds and counting.
Yeah. Why don't you let us get with Dawn and see what she needs
Okay.
in there?
It's already been passed, so
Would
we
you
can
follow up?
sign it or
We'll
whatever.
follow up, Judge.
Okay, I'll need a motion.
Make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Gomez, second by Commissioner Fowle, those bids, any discussion, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Open the bids.
All right, the first one I'm gonna open is item A, material hauling and material plus hauling.
And who is it?
And someone don't put their name in, I'll type it to you. This one says Century Asphalt Ltd.
Don't cut yourself, man.
Brontex Materials Inc.
And that's for the same?
Yes, this is all material. Files Home and Garden Materials. There, that one. Vulcan Material Company.
I was fixing to say, it's gonna be like Tom, cut himself.
Tom Whiting.
Colorado Materials Ltd. Ergon Asphalt and Emulsions Inc. Luna Construction and Trucking LLC. Tascosa Materials LLC. Nine O Transport and Sales Inc. And last is Martin Marietta Materials Southwest LLC. The next one is fuel. We have two. Midtex Oil LP. Cruise Inc. DBA Jones Oil Company. The third one is towing. Quality Services Towing and Recovery LLC.
What was that again?
Quality Towing and Recovery LLC. Pantusa Towing and Recovery LLC. And Rick's Towing Service Inc. And the last one is for lawn maintenance services. Above All Construction. Freedom Mowing LLC. That is all I have.
Okay, I don't know, at one time we had it on there that they might be possibly accepted on the 24th of this month.
Correct, so we're gonna, do the bid tabulations and then, decide, bring it to court, by the 24th.
Okay.
And we're, I believe we discussed accepting, but, deciding how we were gonna move forward, and we should know by that time.
Ms. Burke, is that August 24th?
Yes, August 24th.
Okay, that's all.
Yes, that is all.
Be back again. Let's go back to where we were before, which is agenda item 13, Eva S. Martinez, County Clerk, minutes.
I recommended those also, because the properly reviewed project itself and the inspector. Oh, yeah,
Judge, I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented.
Motion by Commissioner Wiley, we approve the minutes. Second by Commissioner Powell. Is there any discussion, changes, deletions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. So we have the minutes approved. Okay, agenda item number 14, Jan Hartle County Treasurer, financial report. No report? So we're moving on to 15, agenda item 15. Lynn T. Bolinger, Human Resource General Specialist, payroll and personnel.
All right, Jennifer Ray began working as a tax customer service rep with the tax office, making $12.01 per hour and $25,000 annually. Christopher Pena began working as a dispatcher at the Sheriff's Department today, August 10th, making $15.38 per hour and $32,000 annually. Gary Laughlin Jr. received his Master Peace Officer certification and will receive a $25 per month increase in certification pay. Charles Hutchinson resigned from his position as a corrections officer at the Sheriff's Department effective August 3rd. Ralph Nicholson resigned from his position as a corrections officer at the Sheriff's Department effective August 6th. And Andrew Belcher resigned from his position as a part-time bailiff at the Sheriff's Department effective July 31st. Hilda Castro retired from her position as the Assistant Jail Administrator at the Sheriff's Department with 23 years of service effective July 31st.
Thank you. No line item changes or anything, so that's all the information. Okay, now, agenda item number 16, Brenda Trevino, County Auditor, bills.
We have the lot load this go around, bills totaling $175,826.80.
Make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Young, file. Comments? Second by Commissioner Fowle. There's been a motion and a second by Commissioner Gomez and Commissioner Fowle to accept the bills. Is there any discussion or questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. So we have the bills. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving right along to agenda item number 17, which is at 10:13, we are recessing until 2:30 this afternoon, 2:30 PM, where we're gonna come back and we're gonna then do agenda item number 18. So at 10:13, we're recessed.
I'll probably call in a second.
Okay. Commissioner Hyde?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll hear from you again about 2:30.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'm gonna hang up.
They still got some, I can sell that moonshine legally over there.
Say what? It's gonna cut into my business.
We